Live from downtown Macon, this is WGXA News live on YouTube.
Good evening, Middle Georgia. I'm Amanda Peralta.
And I'm Greg Lloyd. Amanda and I are glad to have you with us here on WGXA News at 5:30.
The big weather story this week continues to be the heat. We're watching those temperatures soar across Middle Georgia. And while I do love the summer, I don't know that I love these temperatures.
Got too hot too fast, didn't it?
Yeah, I feel like I was cold, and then all of a sudden now I'm just so hot all the time, and I'm stressing about my electricity bill.
A few weeks ago, we were talking about, hey, we're waiting for the summer heat. We can't wait. Well, it's here. And we are going weather-worn days for Friday through Sunday because we are going to have dangerous heat levels, and a lot of people will be outdoors enjoying the long holiday weekend. We're likely going to have a heat advisory issued over the next few days, and that'll continue all weekend long as those heat index values could easily soar over 105. That leads to heat exhaustion and heat stroke very quickly. So again, it's all thanks to this dome of hot air that continues to slide off towards the east. It's going to make its presence known in Middle Georgia this weekend, and that's when we're going to start to feel that temperatures. We're talking Saturday, Sunday, and Monday. Easily over 105 is what the temperature will feel like. This evening, not too bad out there. How about lower 90s? The feels like temperature, low 90s to a few low 100s, but it only gets hotter from here. So planning out your evening, enjoy it because it will be dry, but it is hot. Those hotter temperatures, they arrive tomorrow. I'll have that coming up.
The heat and humidity is really going to be ramping up starting tomorrow and straight through the weekend, where our highs will be into the upper 90s. Although when you factor in the high humidity, the heat index, the way the actual air temperature feels, will be in the triple digits from 100 to easily 110 degrees. And you really do want to take the heat seriously, as it's the leading cause of weather-related deaths, beating out lightning, tornadoes, or even hurricanes. Last year alone, the National Weather Service says there was 148 deaths, most likely from heat, and the 30-year average is up to 168. So you really do want to take it easy, especially in the peak heating in the afternoon. Some tips for you: never leave kids or pets alone unattended in cars. They heat up very quickly. You want to stay hydrated and take breaks in the shade or the air conditioning, and limit strenuous outdoor activities.
And with the dangerous heat coming to Middle Georgia, many of us will blast our AC, but doing that could land you in a higher electric bill.
Tonight, our Carlos Stevens is working to figure out how to keep your AC unit going strong and to keep your utility bill low at the same time. Boy, those are things we want to do.
It kind of seems like you can't have both.
It does. But Carlos, you've been speaking to an expert from We Care Heating and Air, and what did he tell you?
Guys, he says not having your AC checked could cost you in the future, even making you spend thousands of unnecessary dollars.
It's like a car, you know, you run it, and if you go through the summer heat and the winter cool, and you run that, 40 to 50 to 60,000 miles on that system during that time, and you never conduct that maintenance, that system is going to tend to have mechanical failures.
We Care Heating and Air General Manager Josh Jacobs says so far this year, his company replaced more than a dozen AC units. He says units should be checked at least twice a year to ensure that the maintenance is up to date. But the work doesn't stop there.
Keep debris away from your air conditioning unit on the outside. Obviously, you're cutting your grass. You're blowing grass and pine straw and wood chips into your unit and clogging out the outdoor coil. That's going to cause considerable problems.
Jacob says checking your air filter is important and adds there's other options for air filters.
We also offer a media filter that actually goes on the indoor unit, whether it's in your crawl space or in your attic. That can eliminate the exterior filters that are on there, and then you would only need to change that filter once a year.
But once that AC is running smoothly, you may be wondering how to keep that electric bill down.
It really depends on the system. If the system is sized correctly for your house, I would do what's comfortable for you, 72 to 73 degrees.
Now, Jacobs also added that most units last 10 to 20 years down the road. Reporting live here at We Care Heating and Air, I'm Carlos Stevens, WGXA News, guys.
Carlos is somebody who's replaced 2 of them in the last year. I'm hoping for the 20-year mark, buddy. Thanks a lot. Now's a great time to download the WGXA weather app. Ryan will be back with us in less than 20 minutes with your 10-day forecast. Tonight, Bibb County deputies are on the case after a man robbed the Family Dollar on Jeffersonville Road in broad daylight. The store clerk said when she entered the store just before 1 this afternoon, she felt a blunt object against her back and heard the suspect demanding money. After getting an unknown amount of cash, that suspect left the store. If you know anything about this case, please contact Bibb County deputies.
And Bibb County deputies are investigating yet another armed robbery at a Circle K in West Macon. The sheriff's office says this time it happened at the Thomaston Road location just after 5 this morning. The suspect was wearing a black ski mask when he demanded money and took off in a gray Cadillac sedan. Luckily, no one was hurt during the robbery.
According to WGXA records, a Circle K store location has been robbed every month this year since March. If you have information on this case or any of the previous 3 robberies, please call the Bibb County Sheriff's Office. Well, a national organization is jumping into the discussion concerning death rates in Crisp County.
Brianna Cook is live now with the results of a recent study done in Cordele and the powerful results it shows. Brianna?
Greg and Amanda, officials are sounding the alarms on premature death within the African American community in Cordele. Graveyard that leads to Cordele, Georgia. One local citizen says that's a bad omen. Dr. Matthew Wayne is a pharmacist and physician who lives in Cordele. He conducted a study that has now been picked up by the Milken Institute, a national nonprofit organization. The study shows from 2009 to 2019, the lifespan of African American men was 60 years old, and African American women's lifespan was 68 years old. Dr. Wayne says he conducted his research after seeing a large number of deaths in his black community.
Crisp County, which is the county that we sit, is ranked 152 out of 159 counties in overall good health of the citizens. We have some of the unhealthiest citizens in the state of Georgia.
I then sat down with officials from the Milken Institute who say Dr. Wayne's study is absolutely correct. Dr. Victoria Cargill, the Senior Director of Health Equity, says when they dug deeper, they found even more health-related issues in Cordele.
We could really see significant disparities in a number of areas, including premature deaths, as well as child poverty, as well as the access to primary care providers.
Their studies found a staggering jump of premature deaths in Cordele, with a small number of those deaths being among children. They also found Crisp County's premature death rate is 2.5 times the national and state average. Cargill says lack of housing, lack of education, and access to health care all intersect to cause the higher death rates.
Individuals who don't have a higher level of education may have more difficulty attaining employment. If they have difficulty attaining employment, then the type of employment they attain may be employment that does not allow them the same access to benefits. And if you don't have the same access to benefits, then you may not be able to have the same access to health care.
During the study, premature death wasn't the only thing found in Cordele. They found the amount of opioid prescriptions are similar to those in West Virginia, a state that has similar issues to the ones they are seeing in Crisp County.
Look at what's happening in these populations. This is clearly a public health challenge. This represents opportunities lost, lives lost.
Dr. Catherine Sachs, Associate Director in Health Economics, says if local officials don't take action, the county will become deserted.
If you want to make your community attractive, it's not just, oh, we have a lot of job growth, but also this is a place where you can be healthy, where you can raise healthy and happy children. If people know that Crisp County is a place where you have awful health outcomes, you're not going to choose to move there. You're actually going to choose to move away.
Been working on for weeks, and I've reached out to several officials in Crisp County, but have received zero response on what their course of action is. But I will keep you updated. Reporting live in studio, Brianna Cook, WGXA News.
Okay, Brianna, thank you. Well, summertime, as we know, marks the peak of the season. Many people, Amanda, looking to travel, and then there are others who are looking to make some quick cash from those vacationing. But one mid-state county is changing the rules on who can rent and what all can happen behind closed doors.
We want to know if you think the government should be allowed to regulate short-term rentals. Scan the QR code now to let us know in our interactive poll.
In the meantime, Ira Rana Plunkett explains how Putnam County leaders are making decisions that could affect your home away from home.
Howard Sills calls it a catch-22.
No citation can be issued without first giving them notice that they're violating the ordinance. It's kind of like telling you, okay, you robbed the bank, but I can't charge you with it because I didn't tell you couldn't rob the bank.
Tuesday morning, Putnam County commissioners considered law enforcement, legal, and citizen comments when drafting a new ordinance for how short-term rental properties operate. Since the last updated ordinance in 2018, more than 250 Airbnbs and Burbos entered the county, creating what Sills says is a flurry of problems.
People are complaining about loud parties and large groups at these homes and traffic. And when I say traffic, blocking the street, parking on other people's property, blocking driveways, things like that.
It's those problems that made commissioners pump the brakes on issuing any new licenses beginning in April. But with the freeze set to expire in mid-July, District 3 Commissioner Alan Foster was anxious to find a solution.
In the final 9 minutes that we've been allowed, that we brought this, what I consider to be, for my district, the most important question, it seems to get diluted more and more as we go along, is simply whether or not we can say that in the R1R district, that we're going to allow the short-term rentals that exist today to exist, and that we are going to cap it at that number.
In the new draft for the ordinance, property owners are now required to display the licenses on the property, have a visible contract that outlines the maximum number of boats and vehicles renters could have, with occupancy that cannot exceed 12 to 16, and no one under the age of 25 that can rent properties. The provisions come with hefty fines and penalties if violated, like a $1,000 fine to both the property owner and the renter, up to a permanent suspension of the owner's license. Final approval for the new provisions, along with how many short-term rental properties will be allowed in each district, is still up for debate.
It all comes down that just needs to be a certain percentage in each neighborhood. Are we going to be a resort county?
That was our Raina Plunkett reporting. So far, those of you at home are saying that 41% believe that yes, the government should regulate short-term rentals. The other 59% saying no, they should not.
The short-term rentals have become a long-term discussion for commissioners. At the end of the meeting, leaders agreed to another work session to go over the ordinance next week on July 7th. It'll be the 7th meeting they've had so far, and our Raina Plunkett will be there to bring us the latest.
Well, continuing coverage this evening with new developments with the Macon Transit Authority. Last month, the MTA committed to doing an Americans with Disabilities Act audit of its terminal building, and a report on those results are in.
Our Gloria Ruth Finney got her hands on that 25-page report and found out there are some problems that should be fixed.
If this is not ADA compliant, they will not let us operate that. And it states it's ADA. We have people here that will help somebody up. As a matter of fact, you saw one of the ladies come up in the elevator, in this elevator.
That's CEO of Macon Transit Authority, Craig Ross, speaking to me in May, defending claims of inaccessibility in the terminal station. This is Ross speaking during that meeting last month.
If this building, any part of it, is not ADA compliant, we will fix it. We will repair it. We will make it right. Because it's our building.
That evening, the board approved the terminal building's audit of ADA compliance.
There's nobody in this room that knows more about ADA compliance than Bill Acton.
This is Ross at the MTA meeting this evening, referring to that same elevator.
This elevator back here, right behind me, is one that the city put in. It's not ADA compliant.
That's just one of numerous findings of noncompliance found by Hecker Design. But Ross wanted to hold off on speaking further about the issues.
I sent each of y'all a copy of this. Hold it tight for the time being, because we don't know if this is all correct.
The terminal station is a historical building, which gives some leeway on modifications, but that applies to areas that haven't been modified since March of 2012. In that case, would have to comply with 1991 regulations. However, the building did receive an update when it was owned by Macon Bibb. And Ross says the modifications recommended in this ADA survey report won't be cheap.
It's going to cost us tens of thousands of dollars
to correct.
Elaine Lucas is a Macon Bibb commissioner who says some of the findings are troublesome.
From what I heard tonight, there are some things as far as compliance is concerned that they're not planning to do. So what we've got to do is to figure out a way to force compliance.
We'll keep following the ADA audit and what changes, if any, the MTA makes to the terminal.
Happening tonight in Macon, District 1 Commissioner Valerie Wynn is hosting a town hall at Forest Hill Church tonight at 6. Wynn will be joined by County Code Enforcement and the Sheriff's Office. Together, they want to let the community know what work is being done in the county and answer any questions that people may have. Also tonight, the Macon Bibb NAACP is hosting a community town hall. That meeting will focus on landlords with complaints of unfinished repairs, safety issues, payment issues, and more. The NAACP has invited code enforcement, fire prevention, and Georgia Legal Services to attend. Now that starts at 6 tonight in just a few moments at the Faith First Methodist Church. And in more education news this evening, folks are getting the chance to have a chat with the new leader of the Monroe County Schools tonight. The school district hosting a meet and greet celebration with Dr. Jim Finch in the lobby of the Monroe County Fine Arts Center. Dr. Finch previously served as the assistant superintendent. He says he's thankful for the guidance he's received from former superintendent Dr. Hickman in the last 8 years.
We want to be able to continue to build off the success that we've had, and we still want to be able to offer a quality educational experience that's connected to a lot of outside activities, extracurricular activities that pretty much enhance the students' experience while they're in our schools. And we really think that's important to engage our students and our families and everyone in our community.
Dr. Finch says he's very excited about this new opportunity to serve the district.
And we are going weather warned later this weekend because we are going to have dangerous heat across middle Georgia. It's tolerable right now, 92 degrees as we look on our Wilson Bryant Heating and Air Skycast Network camera. Downtown Macon, a few people out and about this evening. Severe clear, hardly a cloud in the sky across middle Georgia. But again, that's going to be changing because our humidity levels will start to increase. And that could mean a few rain showers later this week. But really, the story is going to be the dangerous end-of-week heat levels. Heat advisory will likely be issued tomorrow for Friday and through the upcoming weekend. Heat advisory for middle Georgia means that heat index is at or above 105 for 2 consecutive days. We're going to have that. And again, a few isolated strong storms will be possible during the peak heating of the day. But overall, the heat is the story. Knocking on Georgia's door, those heat advisories have made it to the state line. You have a heat advisory, and then you have an excessive heat warning for areas to the west of there. That'll continue to slide off towards the east. And like I said, tomorrow we'll likely see these be issued for Friday and the weekend across portions of middle Georgia as the heat gets closer and closer. Heat index forecast. And again, that gets into the danger range, and that's why we'll see an advisory, and that's why we're going with those weather warn days. Again, it's all thanks to that dome of heat off towards the west. A few thunderstorms may try to come around this dome, and that could bring some cooling effect, but really, we're going to be hot as we roll into the long Independence Day weekend. And of course, a lot of people have plans, including Warner Robins, the Independence Day celebration. It is going to be hot. There may be a pop-up shower or storm, but the heat is the story. Make sure you're taking precautions if you're heading to that. Now, quiet and calm this evening, really not looking for much in the way of rain anytime soon. So, as we look at that 10-day forecast, we are going to be talking about heat, heat, heat. That's why we've got those weather warn days. 4th of July, hot and humid, but that's kind of what you expect for Independence Day. Your Harrison's Body Shop Fishing Game forecast peaks at 11 a.m.
Thank you, Ryan. Well, the Kroger on Tom Hill Senior Boulevard is celebrating after a nearly $2 million capital investment.
The store hosting a grand reopening today to mark the new renovations. They include new natural food integration to help customers select healthy options, plus the produce, dairy, and floral departments all got a facelift. One Kroger representative says it's a way to give back to the community.
$1.8 million to refresh our store here to really represent our commitment to the community. We know how important a great grocer is to a community, and we want to be that great partner for this community because they've been so good to us.
The store also opened a new Starbucks with the investment. This is my favorite Kroger, so I'm so happy.
I already loved that Kroger, and now it's got a Starbucks too.
I know, I love going in it and just shopping around. I don't know why,
me
it's my
too.
favorite grocery
I love
experience.
it.
Well, some exciting news in Macon. SL Sausage Company is getting ready to serve the community.
I'm excited about this too. The long-awaited country store finally opened its doors to the public this morning. The company is best known for its friendly customer service, sausages, jerkies, and high-quality meats cut to the order. Now, the store manager says it's the perfect place to stop for all your needs.
Your friends for breakfast or for lunch, and then also you can come in here for supper or, you know, the burgers you want to grill for your party that weekend. We have everything that you could get at a one-stop shop.
The SL Sausage Company originated in South Georgia back in 2007.
Good afternoon, everybody. I'm Gary Thigpen, and I'm again here at the Bibb County Animal Services here in Bibb County, and I'm joined again today with Elvin and Audrey, and we have a special dog we're going to introduce to you today. And who are we going to be talking about?
This is Mr. Muscle.
Mr. Muscles.
Okay, he's 4 years old, 67 pounds of
Pure muscle.
He's a marshmallow. He is a loving dog, sweet, playful. For his age, very, very healthy. And he's a cuddle bug. That's all he is, cuddle bug. He's already fixed, so he is ready to go as soon as somebody gets approved for him.
So I was told by Elvin a few minutes ago that don't let him intimidate you. He's a you know, big dog and everything, but he is a very, very sweet dog. And as you can see, he's a licker, he's a lover, so he would be great for you. And if someone would like to adopt Mr. Muscle, how would they do that, Elvin?
They can call me at 478-972-4975 or reach us through Facebook.
Wouldn't you like to have Mr. Muscle added to your family edition? You can do that today. Let's go ahead and get online or the phone and do that. And thank you so much, Elvin and Audrey.
And looking ahead to Independence Day weekend, community events are happening all over the mid-state to celebrate.
Our very own Brittany Miller and Jeff Cox will be in Warner Robins to host the 2023 Independence Day celebration this Saturday, July 1st. It's sure to be a night of excitement with major entertainment outside McConnell Talbert Stadium. Big names like the Daz Band, Jefferson Starship, Creed Scott Stapp, and Macon's own AJ the DJ are taking the stage in the 40th Independence Day concert.
For more information on other events going on across the mid-state, plus parking information for the concert in Warner Robins, visit our website, WGXA.tv.
Well, that's going to be big and a lot of fun. That's always a huge celebration down in Warner Robins, and I know that a lot of people are excited about that.
I'm looking forward to the fireworks. I love Independence Day.
You will not be let down.
Is that your favorite holiday?
No. Halloween.
Halloween?
Really?
Yeah. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah,
I was going to say
either.
Thanksgiving. I don't know why. I was just going to say Thanksgiving. I just guessed that.
Fat joke? Gosh, Greg.
No, it wasn't. I didn't even think of it like that. Oh my gosh. Well, like and subscribe. We hope you'll join us. Oh my heavens.
We invite you to join us at 6 on ABC 16.
Have a good evening, Middle Georgia.